I wanted to introduce a new system that we're going to try here at JFD that's going to hopefully help us disseminate information to you guys on each of the crews. And it's this video program that we're going to post both on Target Solutions, and it'll be on YouTube for you to access there, but also maybe send you a link in an email. So we're going to experiment around and see if this helps get a consistent message out to everybody as far as upcoming events, upcoming training, administrative changes, and anything like that. So let me get started on this first one. I don't want these things to be real long, maybe 5 minutes at the most, but let's talk about one thing real quick, administration wise. With the telestaff being put in place, and it is working now, is if you work overtime between the 1st and the 15th of a month, you will receive that overtime check, regardless of what day you work it in that time period, on the 25th check. And if you work overtime from the 16th to the end of the month, you will receive that overtime on the 10th of the month. So it's the paycheck that that is the next one after the pay cycle that you work the overtime. So that's a slight change. Nothing that happened a lot anyway, but that's what's going to happen from here on out as far as with the software. On training, let's talk about training for a second. We received a lot of requests for different training. We've been able to get some folks to a lot of those trainings. But one of the things that we have to look at, is, of course, is the cost associated. And those schools that require lodging, food, fuel, and then, of course, the cost of the class has to be considered. We have to look at those closer. So we're not sure if we're going to be able to continue to send people to those classes. Each one's going to have to be handled on a case-by-case basis as far as the funding. But we do have a meeting. Deputy Chief Stingle and myself have a meeting on April the 4th with the council for maybe some more funding for training. So we'll see how that goes. One thing I wanted to kind of explain under training here is the difference between the minimum rank requirements, training requirements for rank, and then the minimum for promotion. There is a difference in the two. The minimum requirements for rank, that is something that we put in place just because we feel like somebody that holds the rank of sergeant, lieutenant, or captain certainly needs to have certain qualifications to make those critical fireground decisions. They're just too important in the way of safety. And so we've put certain classes, regardless of if you already have the rank or not, that you need to fill that rank. So those are your minimum rank requirements as far as education. And then there's the education requirements for promotion. Those are a little more strict and a little more detailed. But there is a difference in the two. So one of the classes that's coming up is Instructor 1, and this is a class that several people need for their both promotion and their minimum educational requirements. This class is going to be given on each crew. It begins here in April with a test occurring the 24th, 25th, and 26th of April. So this will be a great opportunity to grab that class, be taught while you're on duty from the instructors on each crew, and that'll be coordinated by Deputy Chief Stingle. But the practicals for that will be on the 22nd. So we are going to try to do all of the practicals on one day on the 22nd, because they require that each person give a class and that those be videotaped. So we're going to try to do that logistically all in one day. So if you're interested, make sure you get with your battalion chief. He's going to have to do some shuffling of folks to make sure we get everybody in front of an instructor for that day. So it may require some transferring for the first 12 hours as we get that done, but it'll be a good opportunity to do it in-house. One thing I wanted to mention is promotional testing that's coming up. Your promotional packets, which include your application, your qualifications, are due no later than July the 2nd, with the promotional testing to take place somewhere around mid-October. That exact date hasn't been given yet, but it should be somewhere in middle to late October. If you have any questions about the procedures for promotion, you can get on Target Solutions, and under File Center, you can find the latest merit guideline rules, 2013, and those will explain the promotion procedures there. You can also find the minimum education requirements. It's a great resource of information right there on Target Solutions if you need the SOG or SOPs, as far as referencing back to something that you may have a question about. Also, if you have any questions about the Merit Commission, of course, they meet the first Thursday of each month at City Hall at 1800 hours. So you're always welcome to go there and ask any questions. Coming up this spring, we also have our Essentials Function Test. This is the fitness test. We no longer do the push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run. We are now doing the task-oriented ones that we've done for the last couple of years, actually. So there's no change really in those. It's the tower climb, ladder climb, the things that you guys are used to. So we're going to be continuing those, getting those done, hopefully this spring before it gets too hot and have to do them in the middle of summer. Station improvements. Bruce is putting together a package for the council to look at for some improvements. Most of those occur at Station 1. And some of those at Station 5, and I think some painting at maybe at Station 3. But that, of course, is all fund council dependent, so we're working on that. A couple other things going on. We have Thunder coming up April the 12th. We'll have overtime for that. That'll be from 11 a.m. to 2300 hours. And overtime will be offered for the boat, for 2 engines, staff with 4 each, and also for the incident management team folks. So the command post this year is going to be at Ken Ellis Building, so it's at a different location, just for information. April the 1st, there's going to be begin some transfers because of the transition in deputy chiefs from Marty Stingle is going to be our new deputy chief of operations and training, and that'll require some promotions. And that stuff's already been posted, but if you have any questions, get with your battalion chief on that. But I hope this has been informative and something we're going to try to do maybe once a month to try to get information out, and hopefully it'll work out. So have a good day and be safe. Thanks.